Hey guys, welcome to another audio commentary done by Diggity. This is MSL Season 3, the round of 4, the fourth match between Xellos and Bisu, or fourth set if you prefer. There's been lots of debate about that, I guess. At the 12 o'clock position we have Xellos, and at the 3 o'clock position we have Bisu, so 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Sorry this isn't live. I already have seen this all the way through. Usually what I try to do is I try to get the VODs when I download the VODs and just do the commentary on the first view through. This last set, because it was on a Friday, I had the opportunity to do it live on Ventrilo, which is why the audio quality wasn't as good on set 1, 2, and 3. 2 being done by Moletrap, by the way. So we'll see how this one goes. But just so you know, I do know who wins this match, but let me do a review in the meantime of the prior. This is Python, by the way. Most people are familiar with this map. You can see there's these two spawns and mirrored spawn. This is an interesting early, kind of close starting location. And really, in the close starting location kind of arena, I think that favors Bisu, especially because Bisu, he more often goes into drops with either Dark Templar or Reavers, and with that close proximity, he's going to have, basically the pressure's on Xellos to get turrets down quickly. And I think we will see Xellos kind of do a quick shift to turrets when he realizes how close Bisu is on the map. And surprisingly, Bisu not sending that early probe out. Usually he sends the probe immediately after he gets that pylon down, showing a little bit of respect to Xellos here after that last loss. And we'll see if he decides to mix up his build order here. Usually when he does that, he kind of goes the early observer, and it was interesting because that last match, Xellos kind of found a hole in Bisu's build and went with an infantry push kind of at the exact right moment when he needed to. And I was surprised that other players hadn't done that up to this point. Maybe that's just an artifact of Blue Storm. It looks like Xellos is going to try to seal in his front door, building a barracks off position there. And yeah, it looks like Bisu going for very early tech. He might do that standard observatory builder. He might mix it up here because he realizes that Xellos kind of pulled his ace card. He beat Bisu's standard, kind of very powerful build against Terran players. Now the question is does Bisu have an ace card? Does he have something where he's just going to end this now, where just kind of with a standard quick build, and he's going to do actually what looks very mirrored. Basically, the only difference between this round and the last round is he's sending that first probe out a lot later than he usually does. And let's see if that's going to cost him in scouting, basically. It looks like Xellos is going to do a counterclockwise scout and come across Bisu's base first. And Bisu looks like he's actually adjusting his course. He's also going to do he's going to do more of a counter... Xellos doing a clockwise scout, Bisu doing a counterclockwise scout. Both are going to come across each other's base very quickly. That, as you can see, probably going to produce a Dragoon before even that first Zealot. In the meantime, going very quick tech, and Xellos actually doing a very interesting build here. He has to be careful with that SCV out there because Xellos looks like, yeah, he's attacking that SCV pretty dedicated, and that SCV is taking a lot of damage. It looks like it's going to actually, wow, Bisu managed to take that SCV out. That's not going to hurt Xellos too much, but that is kind of a little bit of a stab there. And Xellos, very interesting, kind of doing that spread. Instead of putting that supply depot kind of at that corner and plugging it with an SCV, he's going to do kind of more of a spread supply depot type build. He's probably going to be doing what he's been doing, although it's a little more difficult from this location, going with that early siege tank and then into a fast expand. Going to play a little more conservatively than last round, and unless he's just kind of sealing his door to try to do something similar. And Citadel of Adun down, and after it looks like there is a single Dragoon out, but he's going to go, it looks like Bisu's kind of doing a quick Dark Templar. He's not going with that early robotics facility, not going with early detectors, and that's really smart because most Terran players, I think, when they're facing Bisu these days, are kind of giving up on vultures, which are a key part of the Protoss Terran matchup, because Bisu goes and gets range upgrade very quickly, which doesn't look like he did this time. Because he gets range upgrades so fast and he gets those observers out, really vultures are completely worthless. And right now Xellos getting that second expansion down, he's going to be in big trouble here. As you can see, robotics facility coming out, and I feel like if he was going to fight this off, if he was going to be prepared for this, he would have had to go to a 2-fact build and maybe have some mines down to fight this off. We'll see if he manages to get turrets down in the meantime. Bisu looks like he has a couple Dragoons out in the field, and that's I think that's intelligent. He's going to push up and be aggressive to Xellos, and this is kind of the perfect build for this. Bisu basically producing a lot of Dragoons just in case there was an infantry push coming from behind the wall, but he sees that there's not. In the meantime, he's going to go up and put pressure on Xellos, so Xellos does not scout this out within any of these SCVs. Even if he tried to, all those Dragoons would easily be able to intercept He has that single tank out, but again, it doesn't look like he's producing any other tanks. And we'll see basically what Xellos does from here. I'm not sure what he can do to fight this off. As you can see, that SCV being not being killed yet, but being intercepted by those Dragoons. Xellos is going to try to bring that Marine around, but I think Bisu kind of really, he's just going to hold that gap. And that Templar archive is up, and so we're going to see probably two Templar very quickly inside Xellos' base. Xellos might have this kind of figured out. Yeah, he is building an engineering bay, and I think that might be because he realized there's that more aggressive denial of scout by Bisu. I don't know if he realizes Dark Templar are coming out right this moment necessarily, but my guess is he definitely suspects a drop, especially with that proximity. That SCV coming back, not dying. But I think that, and it looks like that Marine to the south going to approach here, probably going to be intercepted. But again, it's going to be very difficult in Xellos. He has to get a very large turret spread. Basically, it's just the cost of 2 Dark Templar, which are very effective attack units for Bisu. As you can see, that dropship coming out with perfect timing. He's going to float that engineering bay up. Looks like Xellos is going to have a turret down, but only that single turret, and that's going to give a lot of leeway for those Dark Templar to walk all over Xellos' base. And we saw this in a similar matchup with Huation. That secondary now up, those 2 tanks out of position, get a turret there. 2 Dark Templar now in Xellos' base with that single tank. That tank is somewhat out of position. Oh man, it's getting chased away from that turret. Xellos trying to micro it around. And that second tank getting kind of trapped there. He loses that second tank. That's a big hit. And now all those SCVs running up trying to repair that tank. They're just going to try to take it. And wow, those Dragoons in the meantime going to push straight up the middle. And right now, there's nothing Xellos can do. He lost that second tank. Those SCVs getting taken down left and right. And that's GG in my opinion. That was a brilliant tactic by Bisu. Realizing that when he brought those tanks out, losing that tank, he's just trying to seal his front door now, but not being successful. He realized that door was open, slid those Dragoons in, and now he's just slaughtering SCVs left and right. And I don't think Xellos has anything to fight this off. He has a Vulture out, but Vulture's not very good against Dragoons. A little bit of a good micromanagement there, but I don't think it's going to be all that successful. And here comes another drop from Xellos. I don't know if it's going to be really could have filled that with anything. Probably Dark Templar though. Yeah, Dark Templar coming down, just going to start murdering SCVs. Academy up and Comsat station, but again, Xellos doesn't have anything to fight that off. Going with that second Comsat station, as soon as that turret goes down, my guess is that Xellos is going to call GG. Interestingly enough, it looks like Bisu killing that shuttle, maybe to gain some psi. Probably to try to get some more psi. That tank out, but that tank's easily going to be taken out, probably by that Dark Templar and that Dragoon. And wow, Xellos so far behind at this point, having to pull his SCVs up the line a couple times here. And yeah, that Dragoon almost dead, and still a lot of Dragoons, a lot of Templar in, and he can't defend his secondary. Now Bisu's going for another expansion, going to get the 3rd gateway up and just start continuing to pour forces into Xellos' base, and that's just sad. Yeah, Xellos, you can see, trying to produce a tank. He does have a tank out, but he doesn't have any way. Look, he does have that Comsat station, so he might be able to take out that Dark Templar. Didn't manage to protect that tank. And as you can see, Xellos just so far, he's had to dedicate all his SCVs this entire time to fighting off these Dark Templar. That Dark Templar still alive. Managed to take out that tank despite all those SCVs all over it, and still more Dragoons pushing up into Xellos' main. And there's GG. Xellos too far behind. Bisu just showing why he's the 2-time champ, and well on his way to being the 3rd-time champ. We'll see him versus the winner of Savior vs. Mine, which I won't spoil for you guys just in case you haven't seen it. This has been another audio commentary done by Diggity. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. I'll talk to you guys later.